What's up, my friends in film fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching? Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. It's been I was just telling Jeremy a minute ago, it's been a tough couple of days for celebrities. Again, they always say that celebrities tend to die in threes, but I think lately it's been coming in bunches of like 6 or 8. It's been very unfortunate, and one in particular has affected many generations, as director Rob Reiner was unfortunately lost alongside his wife. We're going to delve into his life and career a bit later on. But Jeremy brought up a good idea. He said might be a good time to do a movie that we've been kind of hovering around for a while. One that we had to have eventually done because this is one of the great films of the last probably 40 years. That is The Princess Bride. Here to do that movie with me is my hero life mate, Jeremy. What's up, brother?
I mean, what more could you ask for in a story? This story's got everything. I'm not going to run through the
It really
list,
does.
but yeah, but no, this story's got everything in it. So I mean, yeah, it's all around. It's a great movie. It's very quotable. It's hard to pick a quote. I mean, I was watching the movie going into this, and I'm like, we might be stumbling over each other trying to pick quotes, but
well, it's like this movie, Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles. There are just some movies out there, half the Kevin Smith stuff. I mean, it's like we had the same problem with Clerks. We were just like, what quote do we pick? There's so many lines in there that are meaningful and awesome and funny. But this really is one of those movies where it's like every line of this movie means something to somebody. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it, but it didn't really occur to me just how loved this movie was until after the news of Rob Reiner's passing had hit the internet and the public knowledge, and we started to do what we usually do as fans, and we kind of start to take his whole work into account in our heads. And it kind of occurred to me, I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie, so many of his movies are something very, very special. But we are, of course, here to talk about, I'm on the wrong thing. We're here to talk about The Princess Bride. It is the 1987 American fantasy adventure comedy film directed and co-produced by Rob Reiner, starring, and this is another one of those cast lists that it's like, when I read it, you're just like, heavy hitter. Cary Elwes, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, André the Giant, Chris Sarandon, Christopher Guest, Wallace Shawn, Peter Falk, Fred Savage, Billy Crystal, and Carol Kane. Boy, there's a murderer's row of very funny, very talented people. Yeah. Adapted by William Goldman from his novel of the same name, it tells the story of a swashbuckling farmhand named Westley, accompanied by companions befriended along the way, who must rescue his true love, Princess Buttercup, from the odious Prince Humperdinck. The film preserves the novel's metafictional narrative style by presenting the story as a book being read by a grandfather to his sick grandson. The film was first released in the United States on September the 25th, 1987, and received widespread critical acclaim. After having only modest initial box office success, it has over time become one of the cult films and has gained recognition as one of the greatest films of the 1980s, as well as one of Reiner's best works. The film was a modest box office draw, making $30.8 million against a budget of $60 million. On Rotten Tomatoes, The Princess Bride holds a 96% approval rating. That seems low, based on 85 reviews and an average rating of 8.5 out of 10. The site's consensus review reads, quote, "A delightfully postmodern fairy tale, The Princess Bride is a deft and intelligent mix of swashbuckling romance and comedy that takes an age-old damsel in distress story and makes it fresh." Furthermore, in 2016, this film was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the United States National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. I don't know that you could ever give this movie enough praise, to be perfectly honest, but we're going to start now. Jeremy, give me your quick thoughts of this movie before we get into the breakdown.
Yeah, like I said, it's got adventure, it's got pirates, it's got kings and queens and murder plots and comedy. It's kind of just an all-around a fun movie. Very, like I said, very quotable. It's memorable. And with all this D&D that we've been playing recently, I'm also looking at this movie like, I think this is right on the money when you start getting to like Wallace Shawn's character, Inigo Montoya, André the Giant. I'm like, we all want to be the Dread Pirate Roberts, but I'm like, yeah, but we're these three like goons. This whole that's what it turns into. But it's sorry. Yeah, no, it's a movie you can watch over and over, and you still laugh at it, just the same way you did the last 400 times, however many times you watch it. And there's a lot of I knew she grew up on this movie too, and I was like, I'm surprised you watched this, and I'm like, look, you gotta watch Monty Python because it's kind of in that same like goofy vein that like you'll appreciate that. Also, I mean, and if she wasn't like asleep, this movie is also where our dog Buttercup gets her namesake. She is in fact named after Princess Buttercup from this movie. So, I would do a cameo, but I think she's asleep. She's had dinner and yeah, I think
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense with what Rachel was putting there. Yeah.
Yeah, loves this movie, and like I said, you named your dog after Princess Buttercup, so it makes sense.
Yeah, let's see. Dr. Nick is reminding us that Casey puts things in his bum. I don't think it's André the Giant. I think you could actually fit André the Giant up his butthole, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, this I think the consensus review, it says it pretty well. It's like it's a mix of swashbuckling, romance, and comedy with the action adventure, with the Shakespearean kind of drama, with comedy. This really is the best part of every popular genre of movie all rolled up into one. Every scene is something different and very beautifully done. It's beautifully shot. It's beautifully written. I mean, it didn't hurt that you were filming it in one of those beautiful places of the world. Those areas of England are just, I mean, they're majestic. They're a character in and of themselves. But then you add in the great performances, the great characters. It's just there really is. I was watching this movie last night, and I'd seen it many, many times. I probably didn't even need to watch it again for this review, but I thought it would be fun. And but I'm sitting there watching it, and I was thinking to myself, I'm going to watch this and try to find something about this movie I don't like. And I was like, I got nothing. I can't. It's one of those movies where
like, nah, I got nothing.
I got nothing. Yeah, I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm like, do I like the way they did this? Yeah. Do I like the way they did that? Yeah. There's not a scene in this movie out of place. There's not a piece of dialogue that doesn't work. There's not. I mean, it's like even the moment where he stands up out of the bed towards the end of the movie, it was so simple and so climactic without having to actually cross swords. He's just like, that moment is so epic, and I'm like, how do you do this so simply? But that's what great filmmakers do. It's what great actors do. They take these very simple moments and turn them into something that is just beyond anything you can imagine. That feels so amazing. But
I think as you roll a nat 20 on an intimidation check, because he definitely just sat his ass back down in the seat. I think that's what that was.
Yeah. Sure. We're gonna do this usual rundown a little out of position from what we usually do. I'm gonna save the discussion about Rob Reiner for later for obvious reasons. But let's go into the cast real quick and talk about them. Obviously, like I said, I read you this cast list, and it's just full of people that, I mean, maybe Robin Wright and Cary Elwes were a bit young. This was maybe their breakout thing, but I mean, now they're huge. Mandy Patinkin, same thing. Wasn't big yet, but I mean, so many of these people. I mean, Peter Falk, already a legend. Fred Savage, I think at that time was already doing like Wonder Years, so he was pretty popular. Billy Crystal was already great. Carol Kane, already great. I mean, what do you think of the cast of this film, and who stood out to you the most?
Oh, dear God. Yeah, like we said at the beginning, I mean, this is like you said, like a murderer's row of just a lot of great talent in this movie that works. And this is another one of those examples where it's like, it's all the right people at all the right time in the right places. And it works, from the comedy aspect to the, again, the action, the adventure, every bit of this. And as for who stands out to me, I have no idea. And that's probably about the fifth, seventh, eighth, whatever time this year I've used my free space on my bingo card, but I'm just gonna check all the above. And that's another thing where I don't know if I'd really pinpoint down one person. I mean, they all have their moment, or moments in some cases. I guess I got to give props to Robin Wright for not being an absolute fucking shitbag in Forrest Gump. So good job. It's all about range. It was
the character, not her. I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I know.
I'm not saying Robin. I know. I'm not saying Robin Wright is a shitbag. I'm saying your character of Jenny was absolutely awful.
Yeah, she is the villain. She is the villain.
Yeah,
yes.
Like, you were like chaotic, evil, super villain level of like terrible in Forrest Gump, and I'm glad the internet is like dogpiling on that character and realizing it. But
if you rewind like, I don't know, 5 or so years, removed from Forrest Gump, when you got this movie, I mean, yeah, as Princess Buttercup, yeah, gold star. So just as an aside, that's what I was like. Oh yeah, I forgot that's Robin Wright. That's funny. Remember when she did that?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, this really is just kind of an unreal collection of talent. It's so amazing. I'm trying to find a picture that I like of Robin Wright in this that I couldn't find pictures the way that I usually do in here, and it kind of bothered me. So I was kind of relying on search engines to find some pictures. But yeah, it really is. Damn, I won't be downloading this crap without going through the process. But yeah, for one, I mean, Cary Elwes has been in a lot of things that I've liked. I mean, he's got. I don't know why he's always been one rung short of leading man. I feel like I don't really understand why.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out because he's been in big movies. He's been in lots of stuff. He was in one of the mystery things like a Long Game of Spider or something like that. And he was in like Days of Thunder. He was the rival NASCAR driver, and he's been in so many movies. Saw, obviously.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights. So he's done different things and very, very well. I don't understand why it's not that he's had a bad career by any stretch of the imagination. He's certainly been successful, but I feel like he really could have been someone that could have been one of the great actors of an era. But he's just, for some reason, I don't know if it was. I feel like it was by choice, and he was just like, "I'm just going to do the stuff that I like and not."
It's like, but he's good at
stuff. Yeah, because he's going to be good. He's always going to deliver the right performance.
He was also the mayor of Hawkins in a couple seasons of Stranger Things there too.
True.
And it's because you get excited. You're like, ooh, you're really excited now. He's on screen. He's going to do something. It's like, no, he's not the leading guy, but you're excited when he is there. Because I'm like, man, he just played that like slimy, politician mayor character pretty well, and he kind of just disappeared now. But I don't know, man. Vecna's walking through your town. Where you at now, man? Like,
yeah, where you been?
All right, damn, come on.
But the one that really stands out for me though is Robin Wright. I mean, she is so beautiful in this. I mean, there was a couple of scenes where I was watching. I was like, good God, she takes your breath away. She's so beautiful, and oh yeah, and I totally I found it interesting. I was thinking of because I was a big fan of House of Cards until the last season, which kind of went off the rails for obvious reasons. But and I was kind of thinking about, okay, she does this, she does Jenny and Forrest Gump, she's done various things, but I'm thinking of the range of playing Buttercup to the range of playing the character she plays in House of Cards, and I was like, there is something about this woman. Her beauty ages with time. Her presence ages with time in just the right way. Because I see her on screen now, and I'm like, she's a different kind of beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. It's just a different kind. It's like her confidence, her talent, and everything is wildly attractive. And I love women who are intimidatingly beautiful. Women can be hot. That's fine. The kind of girls you want to take home when you meet them at a bar, but they're the women that are intimidatingly beautiful. The ones that tie your tongue when you try to talk to them. She is one of them. It's like if I met her in real life, I'd be one of those weirdos. She'd be like, "Hi, nice to meet you." I'd be like, It's like I would lose the words for a minute. But but I mean, and honestly, it's like, come on, Mandy Patinkin. He has said many times that this is his favorite role that he's ever played, and I can see why.
Oh yeah.
Every now and again, when you watch an actor do what they're doing on screen, you can kind of tell that it's not just them being good actors. They're like in it. They're having fun. It is easy to do what they're doing, and I can see that all over Mandy Patinkin's face this entire movie. just so damn good. But and obviously being the old school wrestling fan of the golden era of wrestling, André the Giant. I'm sure you've heard some of the stories about what it was like to be on set with him. It's they're legendary. It's like, and Robin Wright has gushed over him for years and years and years about what a nice guy he was. There was a story that I had read a little bit about it when I was putting some stuff together for the stream tonight, where when they were filming in England, it was unusually cold for that time of year. So he would like wrap his hands around her head to help keep her head warm. And she said her one hand engulfed his would engulf like her entire the top part of her head, like all this. His hand was so big, and but she just said everybody has always said, everybody that worked with him on this film were just like, he was the nicest guy you've ever met. I don't know if I have it in the trivia or not. Some of the things that were going on with him because he had just had let's see. No, he had just had like back surgery right before he filmed this movie.
I was wondering, I'm like, was this about that time? I was wondering because he was in like a lot of pain and having the surgery and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the times where he's carrying like Cary Elwes around his back, or when he catches Buttercup and everything, they had to like. This was a little before you could do CGI like that. No AI, none of that. Yeah, they had to like set up special riggings and ramps and shit like that to not put the kind of pressure on his back that he couldn't take. But and I think Robin Wright even said in an interview years ago that I had seen, she was just like, he was obviously not comfortable physically because he was recuperating from that. But she was like, he never stopped smiling. He never stopped. He never stopped being uber nice to everybody. And so, so it's one of the great ways. Cool. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, especially of that era, like I am, I mean, there's that documentary on HBO about him. And if you ever watched, you know who Jake the Snake Roberts is? Old wrestler, he carried the python in the ring. He was on Rogan's podcast a couple of years ago, and Rogan was asking about André, and he has some crazy stories about André the Giant. It's very interesting, not just to hear him talk, period, but to hear him talk about André. He says a lot of the same things. Like, the guy was just so cool. But you can't look anywhere and not see great performances. I mean, like, come on, Billy Crystal.
It's like a Billy Crystal.
Has the guy ever not been good?
Yeah, he's always been funny. I mean, like, that is one of the best parts of the movie, is like just him and and his weird little miracle wife with Miracle Max hair. It's not a witch, I'm your wife.
Yeah, but I mean, the one who's really But it really is. I mean, the whole cast from top to bottom was great. But Robin Wright's the one that stands out for me. She was kind of young at the time, but and she didn't have a big resume, not a lot of experience. But I mean, man, if you're gonna be catapulted into the stratosphere as an actor on any movie, it may as well be this one, because it's a great movie. But let's talk about the plot now. And obviously, there's a lot going on in this one. It's part kidnap, part whatever. I mean, the plot of the movie is kind of simple, I guess. Kidnap the princess to be, some scheme. Obviously, the plot is good. The plot is good. My only knock on it was they could have fleshed that story out a little bit, but because the rest of the movie is so damn good, I just don't see it when I'm watching it. What do you think of the plot of the film? Was there anything you'd have changed?
No, and I think it works enough, for the movie, because like you said, the rest of the movie, the performances and all the other, action and other things that go on help it enough. It's like, that's a tale as old as time. They're kidnapping the princess, and of course it's for means of going to war with some other country. Who knows why? Who really cares? Because I mean, you just have fun along the way with the adventure. Because watching Inigo Montoya have just a fun, very polite, gentlemanly sword fight with Westley. It's just hilarious. You're like, I don't even care. I'm gonna let this whole thing play out because it's too damn funny not to let it happen. And also with that scene with the game of wit, trying to figure out which goblet has the poison in it. I'm like, you allow it because it works so well. No, I don't really think there's anything I would change. It's like I said, it works enough for what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, like I said, I would have liked it for them to have fleshed out something like that political part of it, like the setting up the killing of Buttercup to start a war. But when you watch,
I guess if we're telling this story to a kid, you're kind of like, you don't really care about the finer. You're like, it's the basic plot. This happens. Rescue the princess. Go home. Have a happy ever after.
Oh yeah, it's kind of basic English, Middle Ages stuff. But I was, as I was watching it, I realized something that it never really occurred to me before. I knew it, but it just didn't occur to me. This is a book that's being read. It's essentially a children's book that's being read. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot of plot in See Spot Run. You know what I mean? You're just kind of like, what's the plot of that book? There really isn't one. It's just a description of what Spot's doing, and then that's the book. when you're talking about an old school like 1800s, something would have been written in the 1800s kind of story. That's what it would have been. That would have been the plot. So I'm like, it is kind of perfect for this situation. It does work very well. One of the things I really did like was that making it to where the grandfather is reading the story to the grandson. You're not seeing them. The movie is the theater of this kid's mind as the grandfather is reading it. So you are kind of seeing the movie as this child's imagination is organizing these words that he's hearing into pictures in his head. So you are seeing this as kind of like this wild adventure that however old he is, this 11 years old or whatever.
Probably.
That this 10 or 11-year-old kid that's how he would have put it together in his mind's eye if Grandpa was reading him the story. And that's one of the things that makes it that much more magical is there is a innocence to this story. It doesn't have to be some deep political thriller. It doesn't have to be a lot of guns and explosions and shit. It's just adventure. It's adventure in the way that Indiana Jones, for the first 3 movies anyway, always did great adventure. It made it feel different. It's not just I'm watching a guy do crazy shit for a reason. It's like you really do get sucked into it. It's part nostalgia, part always wanting to be that person. Everybody wants to be like Indiana Jones. They want to be that brave. They want to be that adventurous. They want to throw the whip around and swing off it and shit. That kind of adventure that nobody ever really, very few people ever in world history have ever really accomplished in real life. But we all dream about being that kind of hero. It's more attainable than putting on the Iron Man suit and flying around and fighting Thanos. It's more attainable than swinging around like Spider-Man or Batman or something like that. It's like it feels more real. Like this feels like it could have existed in the real world. But I can't knock the plot at all. It's we'll talk about the potential for a remake in a minute. I don't think either one of us are going to like that very much. But I mean, if I were to try to remake the movie, I would probably try to flesh that out a little bit and make that another storyline. But I mean, this movie was already so full of different character arcs anyway. It's like, Inigo Montoya has his. Then there's the whole thing with Buttercup and Westley. So it was kind of full up anyway. So maybe not making that a central part of the story was okay. I'm okay with it. You could have. I mean, the movie is like, an hour and a half long. It's not terribly long. It's like 93 minutes or something like that. So you could have squeezed a little more in there. But from start to finish, this movie is just so well paced and so good anyway. I'm okay with them not going deeper into that. But let's talk about this film's place in history now. I mentioned it being selected for preservation by the Library of Congress for obvious. It says for it being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. I think you can say it registered under all 3 of those things, and probably a half dozen more. And probably a half dozen more categories if you want to stretch it out that far. Just being awesome, if that's a category.
Right.
Where do you think this film is in film? Not just we'll talk in a minute about Rob Reiner's filmography, but just in like film history, where would you place this against some other movies of its liking?
I'll say like in the same vein, maybe, or just where
any other epic movie. Because I honestly I don't put it quite up there, but I put it up there with Wizard of Oz. There is something I like because we're still talking about Wizard of Oz. That movie is coming up 100 years old. It's like 85 years old or something like that.
39. We're getting there.
And we still talk about Wizard of Oz like it's this timeless classic, which it is. So once we get to 2060 whatever, and we're all these actors have been long gone. Many of them are, unfortunately. But once we get to the point where this movie's 85 years old, do you think they're still going to talk about it the way that we talk about it now? I think so.
Yeah, I mean, in that perspective, I would think so. And that's probably why it has been preserved as being culturally significant, because it has had this staying power for, almost for the better part of, we're getting up on like 40 years of this movie, right? So, 87, we're getting there. So I would put it up there too with maybe, like I said, maybe not like something like Gone with the Wind or something. I mean, that's, or what's that movie called? Orson Welles. I always forget it every time.
Dr. Strangelove.
No. Oh, that one. No. Oh my God. Rosebud. The fuck's that movie called?
Oh, shit, I'm rolling a blank too.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't know why my brain keeps saying Clockwork Orange. That's definitely not fucking it. That's definitely not it.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Thank you. You know, I'm saying stuff like that, like heavy hitters that people consider, one of the best movies of all time. Which, like that's one of them. Yeah, Wizard of Oz or something else I was gonna say, but if there was, I don't even want to say like top 20. I mean, it'd be in there with some pretty greats. It might be further towards the number one spot, but yeah, I think that's wise because it still get quoted. Honestly, when the marriage scene happened, I was just telling her this, and I was like, I should have opened my vows with what the guy said. The marriage brings us all here today, and I'm like, I don't think, but maybe like you would have gotten it. You would have been giggling over there, and I'm like, yeah, Frank gets it.
I'm thinking to myself, if I would have thought about it ahead of time, I 100% would have paid the guy that married you guys and be like, "Where the hell is it?
Marriage brings us here today."
Just to see the look on your guys' faces.
I would have at least gotten it, but I was kind of like, I don't know how many people would have gotten that. And she was like, I think a lot of people would actually. I'm like, they probably would have. Honestly, I would hope so. I'd like for that to be the world we live in. I think people still get quotes from this movie. They still it still holds a place for people. So yeah, I think it'll still stick around. Obviously, for like it said, being culturally significant. So it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, every now and again, it's great. It always happens by accident. It's never by design. You get some movie that it just falls into everything falls into place. It's always by accident. It's never by design. It's never on purpose. This is one of those movies. Wizard of Oz, the same thing. There are some movies there's some movies that come out and they just hit a certain way, and you don't know why. You can't really explain it. I don't even think lightning in a bottle is really a smart way of explaining it. It just hits a certain way. It hits all generations a certain way. There's no way it can't last. Because like I laugh because it's like my daughter loves Grease, and I'm like, good God, you love a movie that was made 35 years before you were born. It's like, really. It's like, and my youngest son is going back and watching some of these older movies, and he's just like, oh, this movie's really good. I'm like, yeah, I know this movie's from like 1979 or 1980. He was just like, I didn't even know they made movies that good back then. And I'm like, yeah, we didn't have CGI to go off of. We didn't have all the explosions. We didn't have good acting and good dialogue. That's where good movies came from. But yeah, it's, I don't know why the hell I hit that. Oops, I'm like, well,
I was gonna say like there was some. Oh, there's the chat. Something that my mom told me once. I was as you do, casually watching Ghostbusters. I kind of brought something up to me that was like, she's like, I don't know if they really knew in that time that movie was gonna be as like still culturally significant as it is now. I'm like, probably not. They think this like silly movie about like catching ghosts and whatnot, and it's like that's still a very it's a pretty sturdy cornerstone of like pop culture today. Like people still dress up like Ghostbusters for conventions. There's groups of people in like cities that they dress up like Ghostbusters, and they're usually like fundraising kind of things or nonprofits, stuff like that. They do events and stuff like that. So I'm like, you wouldn't think just again some silly movie about catching ghosts that you think it's really gonna go anywhere. You all kind of feel like Bill Murray the whole movie, like, yeah, this is dumb, but I'm just kind of here. He's just not really, he doesn't really care. But it's like it does take off. It's weird. It's one of those movies. If you could go back in the Wayback Machine, get your DeLorean and go back to when it catch Judy Garland when she was like 30. Go catch her when she was like 30, and then look at her and say, "Hey, that movie you made a few years ago about this, the Munchkins and the Wizard and all that?" She'd be like, "Yeah." It's like in 2025, however many years after you've been long gone from this earth, some people are going to look at that movie and say that it's one of the top 5 films ever made. That many people will think that's one of the top 5 films ever made, and that some people will think it's maybe the best film ever made. Some people make that argument.
she'd be like, dude, stop taking drugs. Get the hell out of here. You're drunk. Go home. It's like, there's no way. Because even then, because that was really,
you were huffing
really
the asbestos
early.
too, weren't you?
Like, because that was really, really early in Hollywood. So the concept of having a movie that stood the test of time, it's like they probably made movies like, we're going to make some money off this movie, and then we're going to go on to the next one, and nobody will ever watch it again. Not knowing that, it'd be like that. Maybe something like some of the Howard Hughes stuff, like Scarface or Hell's Angels. Like these movies were made like in the 20s, 30s, like into the 40s, like the really early days. The idea of 80 years later, people still watching those movies with a reverence, it couldn't register with them. It couldn't possibly. But nowadays that we've already had those movies that are 60, 70 years old that are still considered amazing by today's modern standards with technology and so on and so on, we still look at these and we're like, damn, that's good. It's just awesome. It's like
people still watch It's a Wonderful Life like during Christmas. Like,
oh yeah,
because it's a damn good movie. Like, I saw a clip the other day of I don't remember which movie it's from, but I'm like, it's Fred Astaire, doing what Fred Astaire does best, and he's just tap dancing like a motherfucker, and I'm like, shit like that. I was just intrigued. I'm like, I've seen this before, but I watched it again because I'm like, god damn, that dude could fucking dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you'd have told Judy Garland, and I think, like I said, if you get to like 2060 or 2070 or whatever the 85-ish year mark is for this film, there's still going to be people that compare this to The Wizard of Oz. There's still going to be something timeless and magical about it. There's something inherently romantic about that time of human history anyway. Castles and horses and all that stuff, and swooping in to save the woman you love, and the faith and love and all this, and you factor in, you got great comedy and all that stuff. It was modern for 1987, but still very funny today. There's nothing about this movie that's not going to age well. Like, everything about this movie is going to be awesome. It's made even more funny by the fact that there were so many crazy things happening on the set of Wizard of Oz that movie became kind of timeless and awesome. It's like, all the stuff that was going on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Munchkins committing suicide in the background supposedly and stuff like that. But
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. But
I mean, the stuff they were saying that they were like partying and fucking like having the best time of their lives on set and just being absolute fucking menaces. I'm like, see that's what I'm here for. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. But I was about to point this out a minute ago. Your mom said she hasn't seen this movie. I envy you. I wish I could go back and watch this movie again for the first time.
Right.
I like, of all the movies, I'd like to forget them so I could go watch them again and enjoy them for the first time. Star Wars, things like that. I would love to watch this movie again completely fresh and not already know, so that I could be just blown away by how good this movie is again. It's fantastic. Everything, like I said, from beginning to end, this movie is amazing. It's just so damn good. But let's.
It is on Disney and Hulu right now, and also I am pretty sure I still have it on VHS.
But do you still have a VHS player?
Yes.
Or I at least have access to one. Trust me. You ask my mom. We still have one that's like in a box new that she bought back in the day. Trust me. I've got it covered.
I've thought about trying, because I can find them. I mean, there's a couple places around here that I've seen them at. But I'm like, I've got like 3 VHS tapes still. One of them is like a documentary about the Brooklyn Dodgers. One of them is, I think my dad had recorded the series finale of X-Files because I had to work that night when I was in high school and I wanted to watch it. So he recorded it on VHS for me. I think I still have the VHS, and this is literally 30 years later or something like that.
At this point.
And I think I still have a video yearbook from when I was in 6th grade. They made video yearbooks that year. I think I still have that somewhere.
I think I do
and
too.
There's a picture of 6th grade me playing basketball somewhere.
Oh no, I've still got all like my Disney films. I've got. If you could see the collection I still have, it's like, it's no wonder like I'm here right now doing this show that I do. And actually, right just past my chair back here, there's a whole box of DVDs right there. There's a box over there you can't see that's full of fucking DVDs too.
You cannot see the floor behind me. I have 3 of those big clear plastic things with the yellow lids full of DVDs. Yeah. All of my DVDs are in there, not to mention 2 other cardboard boxes full of DVDs.
Right there, that with the white lid. There's a crate there. There's one below it. There's
like 4 right there stacked, full of movies.
Yeah, so I got plenty of DVDs. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them because I don't want to put them out in the living room. I don't want to just throw them in the garage. I want to keep them like accessible. I want to put them out there and display them somehow. I don't know what they'll do with them.
Just past me right here, there's a closet that does have 2 doors that like with a magnet. I can open them up. I'm like, I'm gonna feel like fucking Danny from Hot Fuzz, like just open my thing and be like, there you go.
You want Point Break or Bad Boys 2?
I don't know which one you think I prefer. No, I'm asking which one you want to watch first. You are pulling my leg, right?
Yeah, I almost had that. I was almost there. But let's talk about this. Is the part that I'm sure you and I are going to agree on, that none of us really want. But I mean, we live in this day and age. Potential remake. I mean, there's been stuff out there about it before. I don't think it'll ever actually happen. From what I've read, in September of 2019, a biographical article on Norman Lear written for Variety, Sony Pictures Entertainment CEO Tony Vinciquerra, I hope I didn't fuck his name up too bad, speaking of Lear's works and interest in remaking them, stated, very famous people whose names I won't use, but they want to redo The Princess Bride. The reaction to this via social media was very negative, as you could probably imagine.
Right.
With fans of the film asserting that a remake would be a bad idea, and in reference to the film, inconceivable.
There it is.
I was surprised we managed to get this far into this review.
I know. I'm sure everybody's comment was just that.
Now, if we're talking about what some very famous people think about it, Cary Elwes himself paraphrased the film saying, "There's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It would be a pity to damage this one," which I agree with.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, who has got a connection to this, she is married to the guy who plays the hated sheriff guy. What's his name? Anyway, she's married to Christopher Guest. Stated, quote, "There is only one The Princess Bride, and it's William Goldman and Rob Reiner's Princess Bride," which I agree with. Jeremy, it's out there. I mean, there's been adaptations on stage in musicals. There was talk of a TV show at one point that never panned out. They did do like a Princess Bride reunion table read thing in 2020. But I mean, potential remake, potential more of Princess Bride. Yay or nay?
I know we always say that, like, even if you don't like the new one, there's always still the old one. But I mean, even from the horse's mouth, even Cary Elwes himself said, like, yeah, it would kind of bring this one down. And I'm like, I wouldn't want that either. I would, and I don't think it needs to be more than what it already is. It's just a start to finish. It's like we said, a typical story you'd read out. There's kidnap princess, save the princess, true love, the end. We're all happy, and it works. Like you wonder why it's so great. It's because it works. You know the story beats, but again, you enjoyed the adventure and the ride along the way. I'm a little more lenient on remakes because I'm like, well, okay, it's not like you're continuing it or trying to make a sequel 40, like I said, almost 40 years later now at this point. But I'm like at a loss I was trying to think about it actually when I was watching the movie. I'm like, who would even be who? I don't. And I mean, obviously, it's only a few of these guys are still around. Like, Inigo Montoya is still around. Obviously, Cary Elwes is still around. Pretty sure Robin Wright's still around.
Oh yeah.
But I don't. I mean,
she just played Apollonia in the Wonder Woman stuff in the last several years. So I mean, she can still do it. She can still do it.
Right, but then I'm like, well, who would be, the main cast of characters here? And I'm like, of course I would default to Glenn Powell because he needs to be in everything. Make him Westley, it would work. I don't know. You would make a good Westley at least. You can give me that one. But I don't know. I don't think it needs a remake or anything like that. I think we can just, like I said, leave it be and let it, still let it stew because, like we said in the last bit, it'll still be around. People, like I said, people still dress up like that at conventions. I'm pretty sure I saw a Dread Pirate Roberts because actually Cary Elwes was at the con I was at this last weekend. Pretty sure I saw some Buttercups and Dread Pirate Roberts walking around. So yeah, I don't think you'd want to tarnish what this movie already did and what it still means to people. Like you said, it's generationally people still love this movie.
Yeah, I think the same thing I always think. If you think you've got a good story, then shoot your shot. But come on, it's like
I know.
As much as I've said it before, and I stand by it. If anything can be remade, and if your remake is good, then we've got two good movies that we can enjoy. If your remake sucks, I've always got the original to fall back on. But sometimes I'm just like, just don't. It's like I don't need it. I just don't, because think about it, and I'll go to the Wizard of Oz again. They've made how many different movies about Oz, the world of Oz,
the Wiz,
since
Return
the
of Oz,
original Wizard of Oz. And they've some of them have been dumb. Some of them have been good. I haven't seen either of the Wicked movies yet, so I can't really comment on those. But it's like I watched The Wiz when I was a kid. I'm like, it's fun, but it's not the same. I watched Return to Oz when it came out with a young what's her name, Faruzka Balk, whatever her name is. But yeah, I see her face too. She's got awesome eyes. But and that was good, but it wasn't the same. I watched that one that James Franco was in a while back.
Oz the Great and Powerful. Yeah.
The one Oz the Great and Powerful, and that was a good movie, but it's not the same. It doesn't. It's your Wizard of Oz is up here. The best movie is right here. It's still good, but it's not. God, you are so far from that level of greatness. Why
you're trying to reach the cliff and you're not even. You know what? You're down there with Westley trying to climb the cliffs of insanity, and you're not gonna get there. You're gonna have a hard time. Definitely
yeah, I just
damper on relationship.
Look, I've also said you can't paint a sequel to the Mona Lisa.
Right.
Things don't become art because they were created great. They become art because there is something about them that is just different from everything else. That you can't always quantify it, you can't always classify it, you can't even always identify it. You just know that thing is great. And so I could paint something that looks like the Mona Lisa doing something else. I could paint the bottom half of her so you can see that she's wearing board shorts, standing on a skateboard. That'd be a sequel, I guess, but it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't be the same. Some people might think it's awesome, but it's like other people who love the original painting would look at it and be like, whatever. It's like, but you can't
like that in parody, like screen painting too. Like how many times have people done that? But it's not the same.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's Ian Malcolm's line. He's like, sometimes you get so preoccupied with whether you could, you don't ever stop and think about whether you should.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think sometimes about remakes. It's like this Wizard of Oz. There's been people more and more over the last several years saying that maybe you need to remake Star Wars, go back to the very beginning and start again. A new Luke, a new Leia. I'm like, no, I don't want that. But I just.
It's like what they're doing with Harry Potter. Like they're already
great.
They're already remaking Harry Potter, and I'm like, didn't we just end that? I know I'm saying that, and I'm realizing, that was almost 15 years ago or some shit. But I'm like, but why? You're not letting it breathe. You can't. I don't know, or just don't. Like in our case, I think this is one of those exceptions. We're saying just don't, please. Just leave it.
I don't understand it either. It's. Something like I said, sometimes you look at something beautiful and you just let it be beautiful. Don't try to make something that's as beautiful or more beautiful. You just let that beauty speak for itself. And I think that's what you do with this movie. You just let it be. And like I said, the reactions of Cary Elwes himself says there's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It'd be a pity to damage this one. I agree. Why risk even a little bit of tarnishing the reputation of this movie? When you can just let it be what it is.
It is being held to that standard. Like I said, that it is so beloved by a great number of people. You're already going into you're going to be held to that really high standard, and you misstep any wrong way, it's not gonna go over well. I'm telling you, especially with the internet now.
Well, and on top of that, it'd be a no-win situation. There's no way you could cast this movie the right way. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, you're going to go get Glenn Powell to play Westley. Okay, one of the reasons I think that something like that would be a mistake is because there's a quality to Cary Elwes in this movie. He's kind of the everyman. He looks like a normal guy. Because that's what I had said a while back about Henry Cavill Superman. Yeah, it's like all the Supermen that we had were kind of like normal guys. Like even Christopher Reeve, while he was working out and trying to stay physically fit, he still had a bit of a dad bod thing about him. He looked like he was a normal guy. Whereas Henry Cavill is just like, puh. He's got muscles on top of muscles. And yeah, we're in this generation where they kind of want all their superheroes to be like freakishly large. But it's like there's something nice about having that guy who looks normal being the superhero. Like Adam West, not at all a very well cut, healthy man. He was healthy-ish, sure. I mean, he wasn't out of shape, but it's like he filled out the Batman costume exactly the way he needed to. Same thing with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was not like big, huge. He didn't get like really jacked for the role. He was healthy and youngish, but he was not like huge muscles on muscles. Excuse me. He was a normal-looking guy. And I think there's a normal quality, an everyman quality about Cary Elwes that makes it, and Mandy Patinkin for that matter, that makes them more relatable. Because when you get these guys, like, dude, Glenn Powell's like, on his worst day, he's 5 times better looking than most guys on the planet. So what? So you're already kind of taking half the crowd out of it. I mean, the women are going to love it, obviously, but you're already taking half the crowd out of it by already like you're already way outside of the realm of what exists in my world. So they would cast it all wrong. But you want to know the casting that would be the hardest, would easily ruin this movie?
That's what stopped me. I don't know who you would get to do André the Giant.
You can't. There is sort of CGI and putting the camera angle low so he'll look taller. You cannot recast that role. There is nobody on this planet right now that can do that.
Yeah.
There is nobody existed, even if you wanted to go into wrestling, get somebody like the Big Show or somebody like that. There is nobody who can bring his physical presence and his humanity at the same time.
Well, and the comedy, like when they're sitting there trying to like talk on the wall, and he's just like, "Hey, you moved your finger. That's wonderful." Like he's just not even. He's just like, "Hey, you moved your head. Aren't you happy about that?" like what the hell? They're trying to like plan to get into this castle, and he's just like, "Oh, you're doing great, dude."
There's nobody you can cast that would come anywhere near that, and that alone would bring the movie down a lot. Yeah. But what can you do? It's like that's why I've always said that when Carrie Fisher passed away, and they were trying to figure out how to handle filming the last Star Wars movie without her. I remember telling everybody, I think me and you had this conversation. I was like, there's no winning move here for Disney and Lucasfilm. Either you kill her off screen, which is going to piss everybody off. You recast her, which is going to piss everybody off. Or you use some cut footage, or you use, I think they were talking about maybe using AI, which pissed everybody off. Or you end up doing what they did was they just kind of used some deleted scenes from other movies to kind of work her in there a little bit, which pissed everybody off. There's no win, so it's like you just do the best you can, and the best you can is never going to be good enough. So how do you try?
Yeah, it's like it's still her in a way. It's like I think what kind of helps it a little bit is like obviously the self-awareness of we're like, oh, we know she's passed away. Like it kind of helps because you're like, well, we know you can only do so much with that. You got to work with what you got. But yeah, like you said, it's not in any way going to make anybody happy about it. They use like unused footage, I think, from like the first movie or something they made, The Force Awakens. They used some CG, probably even like, the light, like when she lays down and she dies, I'm like, it's a very dimly lit. You can maybe make out that that's probably not, Carrie Fisher, but she just lays down on that, like, stone and just passes away. You can use like her daughter even did some stuff. Billy Lord, they did like some CG stuff with her to make the younger Leia. I'm like, okay, fine, but it's not gonna be for an obscene amount of screen time. So you make do with what you got, but man, it's still not going to be something that people are gonna be happy about, right? Because we were like, oh, I would have loved to have seen like a younger, well, not like we got in Obi-Wan, like the little like 6-year-old Leia.
Yeah,
that was fine, but I was like, if we got that era of like Luke and Leia when they were training, like not long after Return of the Jedi, like that would have been fucking awesome. I wish we could have got more of that, and I know we're probably not going to. Again, I would say like, I don't know, maybe let Billy Lord do it. It's her daughter. It would kind of work. She's the right age for that time period we want to see of her training to be a Jedi, but there's still no right way of going about it. I keep saying, let Sebastian Stan be Luke Skywalker, though. He's in with Disney.
come on. He is, again, that's the right age. He looks like him. You could pass it off. I don't know why you don't do it, but that's just me fan casting into the void because it's not going to happen. I don't know.
Well, I think part of it is because, well, I mean, for the Star Wars stuff anyway, it's that the Star Wars brand has been hurt so bad by dilution, which is exactly what I said was going to happen years ago. I was just like, we went from, if we were lucky, getting a new Star Wars property every 10 years to something we had 7 different shows and 5 movies coming out of the Star Wars universe. It was like, hey, you're diluting your product really bad. You got to be really careful about this.
We're actually, if not almost on the day. Let me look it up here. Let's see. When was the Force? Ooh. Is that today? Holy crap. This is live on air, people. Today. Mark it down. December 18th, 2015. To the date. 10 years it's been since Force Awakens came out in theaters. Doesn't that hurt a little bit?
Good movie, too.
Because we're all like...
A little, yeah.
Wow. It has been one hell of a fucking ride since then.
Well, I remember when E.T. when E.T. came out, so yeah, it doesn't hurt as bad, but yeah.
Well, that was, but the difference is E.T. is a good movie. It's still a good movie. That's what I'm saying. The last 10 years, we're all kind of. I'm in the sect of Star Wars people that are kind of like, I'm good.
I think Force Awakens. I gave you the chance. Good.
No, I liked Force Awakens. I did, even though it's A New Hope 2.0. Whatever.
That's fine by me. New Hope's a great movie, but it was everything after that fell apart.
Yes, I'm like, it was okay, but it's an unfortunate casualty that I had to roll it in there with that, where I'm like, look, you guys did straight up Disney, and I'm talking to you right now. I don't care. Dox me. Disney, you got all the money in the world. You just said that everything was no longer canon unless you made it from this point on, and I'm like, wow, that's a middle finger. That's cool. So I'm kind of like, well, how about the rest of us after we've now given you, I think, 10, actually more than that. It was like 2012 when they made that deal to give Disney to, or give Lucasfilm to Disney. We'll just give you the finger right back. I'm sorry. I gave you the fucking chance. Mando was good. I liked Mando. I didn't hate Solo like everyone else on the fucking planet does. I liked Force Awakens, but I'm like, I hate that something that to me was as important as Star Wars. I'm going on a rant, sorry. That I liked growing up so much with Star Wars. And now I'm like, well, I liked this little bit. Rogue One was good. I liked that. I can't say that like I used to when I was in high school, where I'm like, I like Star Wars and I like the entirety of Star Wars. Remember, I don't read. And I read like some of the books, some of the comics and shit. I got into it. And then they threw me a middle. The mouse threw me a middle finger, and I'm like, all right. And I'll humor you because it's something I really enjoy, but then I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's my Star Wars rant. Sorry, I didn't realize that was actually on the day. So just allow me that for the moment. That's wild.
Let's see. Let's delve into the sad part now. Usually we talk about the director and stuff right at the top, but I mean, there was going to be a very different conversation once we got to this part. Let's talk about the life and legacy now of Rob Reiner. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much into what surrounding his loss, but the sad loss of him and his wife. That's all going to be in the news as time goes on. I want to concentrate mostly on the life and legacy that he left behind. I mean, dude, just for a minute, look at his filmography as a director.
I gotta widen my screen a little bit.
This is Spinal Tap. So that was his first thing in 1984, and that's a classic movie. Stand By Me, one of the great movies of the 80s. Followed up by this movie. Followed up by When Harry Met Sally, one of the great rom-coms. Then followed up by Misery, one of the great movies. A Few Good Men after that. It's like so. Yep. Home run.
Yeah.
He did the movie North, which I think I watched once. I wasn't a huge fan of it. He did The American President, which was one of my favorite movies, written by Aaron Sorkin. My favorite writer, Aaron Sorkin, did that movie. As a matter of fact, the show The West Wing kind of came from that movie. Ghost of Mississippi, a fantastic movie. Let's see, The Bucket List, a funny movie. Jesus Christ. I mean, this LBJ, which was a very interesting movie. And then, of course, they just released the Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. And then, obviously, his work as an actor as well. He was in The Jerk with Steve Martin. He was in he was in Misery as a helicopter pilot. I didn't even know that. Sleepless in Seattle, obviously. Bullets Over Broadway, First Wives Club, Primary Colors, Ed TV.
The American President. Yeah.
What? I mean, it's his work was amazing. He didn't have any movies that were bad. It's like, I don't know, Jeremy. Give me your thoughts on his life and legacy, and what his work has left for you to think about.
Oh, you left me there with a fanboys quote. Harrison Ford's the greatest actor of all time. Yeah. He's never made a bad movie. God damn. Yeah, if we like we said with this movie, we talk about like an all-star cast. I mean, like you look at the filmography this man was a part of, and it's also, again, list of heavy hitters. There's not really any one that, like, you know, we've mentioned out here that's like there's not really a bad movie on here, honestly. I'm kind of glad he was at least involved with Spinal Tap 2, which I thought was crazy that we were going up to 11 again in this day of our Lord 2025. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think, like we've said a couple times, at least, like, what you left behind is, I mean, Jesus Christ, there's a whole list here of great movies, and if you haven't seen them, I mean, go check some of these out. I mean, I would hope a lot of you were here because, you know, you like movies, you're into this kind of spear that me and Frank are in, but man, it would be hard to choose one. I mean, my mind instantly went to Princess Bride. I mean, that's why we're here. But if we wanted to do a couple of this guy's movies, I think we'd be set for probably till, you know, I don't know, mid next year, probably. We could talk about this for a while, but man, give me a dartboard, give me a Charlie Day, you know, board. I'll throw a dart and I'll hit one. I'm like, yep, When Harry Met Sally. That's a great movie. You know what I mean? I'll have what that one's having. Let's go watch it. So
yeah, it's sad.
I'm keep an eye on it. I guess we're all just kind of watching this shit unfold, but just remember all the good movies.
Yeah, I mean, dude, just like the first half of his directorial filmography it's stunning. I mean, just going up to like the 2000s. I mean, from his beginning just up to like 1999. This is Spinal Tap, one of the, like, a classic cult film. Stand By Me, which is one of the, I think, it's one of my top 10 favorite films ever. This movie, Princess Bride, which is fantastic. When Harry Met Sally, a legendary film. Misery, which is a legendary film.
God, yes.
A Few Good Men, again, my absolute favorite writer is Aaron Sorkin, written by Aaron Sorkin. He directed the film, which was so good. American President, which I think is one of the most underrated films of all time. That movie is fantastic. Ghost of Mississippi with James Woods, and actually James Woods had just was being interviewed by somebody a day or two ago after all this stuff after all the news broke about Reiner's passing. He said that James Woods is a known conservative. Rob Reiner was not, but he said that him and Rob Reiner had always been close friends because I guess when they were casting Ghost of Mississippi, Rob Reiner wanted James Woods and the production company didn't. They wanted somebody else, and he was just like, "I'm going to fight you guys over this. I want James Woods." And he was like an absolute asshole about it. He's like, he said, "I made us walk off this film if I don't get James Woods." So they eventually relented and cast James Woods, and that's one of the great movies of the 90s. I mean, that movie is so damn good. And that's just the stuff in the 80s and 90s. And then you get into the 2000s. The LBJ is a great movie. Shock and Awe. Did I see that? I haven't seen that one yet. It looks interesting though. Looks like it might even be a true story kind of thing. But rumor has it, kind of another rom-com. The Bucket List was kind of a funny movie. I think I only saw it once, but it was funny. I don't think I ever saw Flipped. Based on a novel, I don't think I ever saw Flipped. Becky Mornay. Not loaded with a bunch of big actors, but I mean, looks interesting. The Magic of Belle Isle, I don't think I saw it. And So It Goes, Being Charlie, LBJ again was really great. I don't understand how that movie came and went so quickly. Although I questioned its historical accuracy when I first saw it, I was just like, you hit a couple of the notes, so I'm gonna give you a pass on this because it's such an interesting movie. That was a great performance by fucking Woody Harrelson, by the way, playing Lyndon Johnson. But I mean, and then I mean, you can't not talk about his TV stuff. I mean, he actually had a small role in an episode of the original run of the '60s Batman with Adam West.
Really?
He had a small role as a delivery boy in the episode called "The Penguin Declines." I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. He was on the Andy Griffith Show, Gomer Pyle, Beverly Hillbillies, Partridge Family, and that led to, of course, his run as Meathead, as Michael Stivic in All in the Family, which is a classic role. Odd Couple, various episodes of Saturday Night Live, Rockford Files, Gary Shandling Show. He did have a small appearance in Archie Bunker's Palace, which was the spinoff of All in the Family. It didn't do very well, but he was on Frasier, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's in voices in The Simpsons, 30 Rock. All these big TV shows he was a part of. New Girl, which I didn't really like the show very much, but whatever. He actually was in the André the Giant documentary. He was interviewed for it in HBO. It's just so much stuff. I mean, he was in. Oh, that's right. He was in a couple episodes of The Bear.
Oh, nice.
And I wonder if he had filmed any more of that before he passed, because they're supposed to be coming out with the third season soon. Oh wow, because he plays the guy they called the computer. Is that the guy? Or is that the other guy? Well, anyway, he's like he was the financial consultant that helps them get everything going in the restaurant and shit like that. But I totally forgot about that, because I just finished season 2 of that, like, I don't know, about a month ago. But I wonder how they're gonna approach that. But wow, I mean, just so many great movies. I don't even know where to begin to even talk about it. Like, and I know some people will say, he was critical of politicians and shit. I don't really care. It's not important. It's when you've got a really staunch conservative coming out and saying, you know what, I love this guy. I love this guy. Right. I don't care that he.
It's amazing. We can all still be friends. You know that, right? Like that isn't your end deal.
That's important to me. That's important to me. But I mean, I've read the last couple of days. I've heard more people talk about some of the charity stuff that he did, all the breaks that he gave to up and coming actors that ended up, going on to having great careers. And a lot of them said that in large part it was because he gave them their start. It's like, you know what? I mean, even Robin Wright was just like, I was a young actress who didn't have a whole lot to do at the time, and he puts me in this movie, and that's really where my career starts. And I had read, I don't think I have it in my notes, but they actually tried to make this movie for almost 10 years before they got it made. It was the late 70s. They had started about doing this as a movie, and they originally wanted to get a at the time, young and untested Arnold Schwarzenegger to play the role of André the Giant ended up playing, but I guess he'd look one. Somebody took one look at Arnold's like, no, he's too short. It's like, okay,
seriously, he's actually too short. He's like 6'2".
He's supposed to be a giant. Yeah, but 6'2" is not tall. It's not short, but it's not quite giant size. André the Giant was like what?
Like 7'4"
tall or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 7'4". So. Yeah, it wouldn't.
So
it's like that picture. I've seen it so many times. It must have been on Conan, because for some reason Arnold's dressed like Conan. It's like Arnold, Wilt Chamberlain, and André the Giant, and it's like they make Arnold Schwarzenegger look like a fucking child. They're like, keep in mind, Schwarzenegger is like 6'2", and I'm like, oh my god, right? Like these two guys just dwarf him. It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, he got 11 nominations for Academy Awards and won 1.
Damn.
That doesn't seem right. I'm actually kind of blown away at the lack of award wins. Stand By Me got nominated for an Academy Award. Princess Bride got nominated for Academy Award. When Harry Met Sally got nominated for Academy Award. Misery got nominated for 1 and 1. That was for Kathy Bates as Best Actress.
Well,
Nicholson and James Woods were both nominated for Supporting Actor for A Few Good Men and Ghosts of Mississippi, respectively. Neither one of them won. A Few Good Men got nominated 4 times, won none. American President got nominated for 1, won 0. Ghosts of Mississippi got nominated for 2 and won none. So 11 nominations, 1 win.
Jesus.
That's just not right. I don't generally look at the award stuff because I don't generally care, but it's like usually when you see a guy with a career as storied as his, you're gonna see a few dubs on there. You're gonna see a few trophies in the mantle, and the fact that he's got so little, God, that's just not right.
Yeah.
But like I say, in situations like this, you really have to take it upon yourself to go look at someone's complete body of work and judge them on that. And not to forget, you know who his dad was?
Oh yeah, Carl Reiner. Another
Carl
heavy
Reiner.
hitter. Yeah.
Another heavy hitter. He was in the first couple of Ocean's 11 movies, the newer ones with Clooney and Brad Pitt. He was the older guy. Yeah. That was Carl Reiner. Yeah. So
right.
In the blood, man. In the blood for sure. Yeah. But a sad ending. I mean, all you can really say at this point is just rest in peace. I put out on Twitter what I usually put out when a famous person that I admire dies for their talent. Just thank you for sharing your talent with all of us, because the world is a better place for all that happiness. This movie alone was worth his entire life, as far as I'm concerned. Everything he gave to us, and to say nothing about the other great works that he's done. It's a sad ending for a great talented man, but the legacy is definitely here. The legacy is definitely here. But let's move on now and hit up a little bit of trivia. I was really disappointed at the lack of good trivia for this movie. It's like some of the stuff was just like, this movie took 6 weeks to film. It's like, I don't fucking care. It's like 6 weeks, 6 months. I don't care. It's a good movie.
6 weeks, and it took 10 years to get it on screen. Damn.
Yeah, really. But let's see. Plenty of trivia about André the Giant. I picked the two that I thought were the best. When asked to name his favorite thing about making this film, André Rene Rosimov, which is actually his real name, replied without skipping a beat, quote, "Nobody looks at me. I felt like I was treated as equal without people staring at me because of my size." Yeah.
I think I heard that where he said like, yeah, he's like, I was just like any other person on set. And I'm like, that's really cool. Like it's, just like he said, everyone always says how great he was. And it's like, yeah, it seems like everyone got along and they all just did their thing and had fun with it. I love that.
This is one of those projects I've realized that, like, and I was thinking about it when I was watching tonight. Every time I see somebody ask one of these actors about being on set, the actor's face lights up. That none of them have ever said, this was really good, but this was kind of a bummer, but overall it was a great experience. They all just gush about being on the set. There was never a bad day. There was never a bad moment. Everything was so amazing to them that it's one of those. It's one of those memories. Like when they talk about it, they light up. And even Cary Elwes over the years, I've always thought that he's had such kind of a stoic, wry kind of appearance to him when he's on camera or doing interviews or whatever. But whenever people will ask him about this movie, there's something that comes over him that is different. There's a light that shines in his eyes differently. And it's like everybody who ever talks about being on set or being a part of this movie, that's the reaction as they start to talk about it. It's a fond memory more than it was just an experience. Just it's like, oh yeah, I did this thing. But that's like I said, it's like every now and again you really hit a home run. Everything comes together for a movie. This is one of them. I was talking about Robin Wright earlier. I didn't realize I had this in my notes, or I probably wouldn't have said it before. During filming of some scenes, the weather became markedly cold for Robin Wright. André the Giant held her by placing one of his hands over her head. His hands were so large that one would entirely cover the top of her head, keeping her warm.
I was like, we kind of see it when they first kidnap her, like when he puts his hand around her neck. I'm like, Jesus, you can just pick her up by her head. Just carry her off. I
thought it was funny. It's like when they kidnap her, he's just like, get her. All André does is he reaches up, he grabs her neck, she just goes,
right.
I was
grabs her neck. And
did you give her the Vulcan neck pinch? What the hell are you doing?
Vulcan neck pinch.
You squeeze too hard.
You got it much too low. It's right here where the neck meets the shoulder, like this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Let's see. During the this did not surprise me at all. During the Miracle Mac scene, both Rob Reiner and Cary Elwes had to be removed from the set because they were laughing at Billy and Crystal's improvised lines. A dummy of Westley that Fezzik had been carrying around took Elwes' place on the table while him and Reiner watched the filming on a closed-circuit monitor outside a closed set.
That's fair. That's
valid.
Man, I don't know how you'd hold it together And I'm sure that was a lot of just let Billy Crystal do his thing, and yeah, you're on the floor laughing by again at the first take.
That would be the hardest part for me if I was in the set of a comedy. It's like is every now and again there's that one line that just goes over what the show usually does. Because I was watching an episode of The Big Bang Theory the other night, and the girls had gone to Vegas for whatever, and Bernadette's talking about going to see Australian strippers because she wants to see if they swing their junk in the opposite direction, and she starts dancing. and I for the first time I looked at Kaylee Cuoco and Mayim Bialik's faces, and I could tell they were losing it. They were. It's like Mayim Bialik was struggling in that scene, and I can even see like Kaylee Cuoco kind of looks up at her like, if she loses it, I'm going to lose it. But Mayim Bialik kind of held it together, and they ended up making the scene work. But yeah, that may be the problem. It's like, especially if you're on the set of somebody like Mel Brooks movie, it's like there's so much good humor. And I mean, Mel Brooks doesn't even try, and he blows the whole theater away with comedy. Because like I couldn't be on the set and of like Spaceballs and have one of these oddball lines go off and me not just fucking lose it. I don't know that I could do it. I don't know that I could be on the set of a comedy, especially one that good, and not be a distraction.
One of my favorite, it's a blooper, but like I love it. We've all probably seen it from The Office, like where Michael comes in, he says, "Hey guys, I got great news," and dude just goes, "We get to go home," and he just kills Steve Carell right mid take. And I'm like, if you make Steve Carell bust out laughing, you did a good job. I'm like, yeah, because he comes out of nowhere and hits him with that well timed line. I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why I wouldn't be able to do it, because somebody just comes in with a zinger like that. God damn it.
And I'm sure sometimes they will screw things up. Actually, did I put it in here? No, I did not. Actually, there was a piece of trivia that I don't know why I left it out. I probably should have put it in here. That the last scene they filmed was the final kiss of the two on horseback. That was the last scene that was filmed in principal photography. And I guess that as they were filming it, they did something like 30 takes because neither Cary Elwes or Robin Wright wanted it to end. So when they would film the scene, and then one of them would be like, "Hey, I think we can do it better. Can we do that again?" And they just kept asking to redo the scene because they just didn't want to stop. They wanted to hold on to it for just a minute longer. And I'm like, that's how you know you were in a good place. That's how you know you were in a good place. But back to another piece of trivia about André the Giant. André the Giant called almost everybody on set, whether they were the director, the producers, the co-stars, or crew, would call him boss, a technique he employed to defer to people he liked and to go some way towards counteracting the way that he would tower over them.
Like, why is this dude like one of the greatest people that's ever existed? I mean, honestly, God, such a cool dude.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like I said, if you've never had a chance to watch that documentary on HBO about him, it's something. And for that matter, go watch Jake the Snake talk about it. Jake the Snake tells this really cool story about when André was kind of running WWF right before Hulk Hogan came in and kind of became the thing. Right. He said that the younger wrestlers, and he was one of them at the time, one of the things they would do is they would just be a driver for the couple of big names. So one day he wasn't wrestling in anything in that particular event, so his job while he was there was to be André's driver. So he went and picked André up and took him back from the arena and took him to the hotel, which he said was oddly far away. But he said he picks him up, and as they're driving, André says, "Hey, stop and let's get some beer. I want to drink some beer before I go to bed." And he was like, "Okay, whatever." So they get out, they go to this convenience store, and André is like, "You want some beer?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll take a little bit of whatever." So André buys him a 6-pack of beer, and then André gets himself a 24-pack of beer.
Well, yeah. He's a big
so
guy.
He said on the ride from the gas station to this hotel, Jake the Snake says he said, "I drank like 2 of those beers." He said, "I was pretty good for the rest of the night." He said, "I didn't want to drink any more after that." André drank all 24, the entire fucking case.
Jesus.
He's like, because he said the way he explained it was like it'd be like us drinking a shot of beer. He was so big that he could drink a case of beer and it would phase him. He said, so if you drank 24 shots of beer, you would drink the equivalent of 2 or 3 beers, and it might not have that much of an effect on you. And he's like, André gets out, and he goes to walk away, and I see him not carrying the leftovers of the case of beer into the hotel room. I was like, so he looks in there, and he sees cans everywhere, and he's like, God damn, this guy probably just pissed all over the car or whatever. He was like, no. He's like, there's just 24 empty beer cans in the back of that fucking car. He's like, he said, because when he would hold a beer can, he's like, his hands were so big that the entire can he could wrap his hand around the entire can. He said, you drink 2 or 3 beers, and he's like, it was the equivalent of him drinking a 24 pack. He was just so big. But he said he was the nicest guy. He said he was the nicest guy. He said he got out. He said he walked dead ass straight. He said he didn't look like he was drunk at all. he said he just got out and walked up to his hotel. He's like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And just walked in.
Right.
He smashed 24 beers in like a 40-minute car. I'm like, damn, dude.
That's not a guy you're drinking under the table for fucking sure.
Yeah, you're not. It's like I remember it, like he had a house built in South Carolina. André the Giant did. Because the area that he had the house built in reminded him of where he grew up in France. He had to have everything custom built.
Well, yeah.
He had to have like custom built toilets and everything because he was so big. He couldn't fit on like a regular toilet seat. He had to have everything custom made. But it's just crazy stuff. But moving on. Let's see. The Dread Pirate Roberts existed in real life, believe it or not. His name was Bartholomew Roberts, also known as Black Bart, operated in the Caribbean in the early 18th century, and many consider him to be the most successful pirate of all time. I don't know what makes you.
But have you ever heard of Captain Jack Sparrow? I might have. Might just throw that one at you. No, that's
when
that's
you leave here, you'll always think of this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Didn't Black Bart, wasn't he in one of the Pirates movies?
Blackbeard was. I don't think Black Bart was. I
could have swore they had mentioned him or something like that.
I watched the 4th one and it wasn't great, and then I just did not watch the rest of it, which there's like 1 or 2 after that. I don't know because I didn't bother. I think I'm pretty sure I own the first 3 movies, and I'm like, I showed those to Rachel. She hadn't seen them, and after we finished 3, I was like, and then they never made another Pirates movie ever again.
Yeah, no more movies ever were made about pirates ever again.
Yeah, after it ended, and she was like, nope, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm satisfied with that ending. I'm like, yeah, we can put it to bed right there. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, to go along with what we talked about earlier about guys having to leave the set because they were laughing, a lot of the dialogue from Billy Crystal's character was ad-libbed on set. It did not appear in the script.
I don't even doubt that. Like I said, let the man work. Let him do his thing. Yeah, just let him get.
When you got a guy as funny and quick-witted as him, I would have a hard time having a guy like him on set and not looking at him and saying, "Hey, I know we've got some lines written for you, but can you pop it up a little bit? You got any ideas? Yeah. Do Billy Crystal stuff." And I would say, okay, now do the lines that I wrote. Now let's do a couple where you're just kind of like add your flavor, add your sauce to it, and then just let him go. I guarantee he's gonna come with something good.
I guess you could just say, just run the scene as you wish.
As you wish. Let's see. I do not have a good picture of Christopher Guest, which is unfortunate.
Damn.
I don't know. I guess that's the only picture I have with him at all. Let's see. Although Christopher Guest plays a count in this film, playing Count Rugen, in real life, he is actually a baron. He is the 5th Baron Hayden Guest of sailing in Essex. He is in the peerage of the United Kingdom. So basically, he's like one of the guys from Downton Abbey.
Right. Yeah. That is.
As I've read it, I guess I don't know how this all works. I mean, interested as I am in some of the British aristocracy. I mean, your mom knows it because we've talked Downton Abbey a lot. But I guess they dissolved his position or something like that. So he's still technically a baron. He just doesn't have like a house or land or a county or anything anymore. That's kind of how it works. But I don't know. I'll let some British guy come in and explain it to me. But interesting casting ideas as I get to these last couple. Christopher Reeve was actually considered for the role of Westley.
Whoa. Interesting.
Part of me is like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we got Cary Elwes. Cary Elwes was the one for the role.
It might have been a little distracting that it's Superman, though. It's like, yeah, I know that guy.
True. And maybe that's one.
I know he's got the good looks, but it would, it'd be a little distracting.
But like I said, I mean, one of the things that I liked about his take on Superman is that he looks like a regular guy. He's not, like I said, he's not Henry Cavill. He's not overly muscular, trying to hide his muscles in his dress shirt when he's at the Daily Planet writing dumb stories about Superman, writing dumb stories about himself.
Right.
I like the fact he looks like every man. We would have gotten a lot of that, I think, out of Christopher Reeve, but I like the way that we got it from Cary Elwes a little better. It's one of those things where it's like it would have been interesting to see, but I don't think that as accomplished as he was at the time. I mean, he already had 3 Superman movies under his belt and a couple other things. I think no, it wasn't until the '90s that he did that Stephen King movie. But early '90s, I think, is when he did the Stephen King movie right before his
actually.
But
I was trying to figure out. Oh God, you know what else also came out in 1987? Superman 4.
Oh well.
I was trying to pinpoint wait, which one was around this time? Like 3 was definitely out, and I was like, oh no, 4. Oh no.
Boy, I bet you he looked around. He's like, God, I wish I had that one back.
God, you kicking yourself for doing the Quest for Peace, man. You could have been Princess Bride. Damn, that sucks.
But another potential casting possibility. This would have been interesting. We've already mentioned her once already. William Goldman claimed that Carrie Fisher was his ideal choice for Buttercup.
I mean, that'd be hilarious because, again, but it would also be distracting that Princess Leia is playing Princess Buttercup.
There would have been an interesting kind of in-joke. She's just playing with her princess. So that could have been a little meta. Not that they were doing a lot of meta stuff back in the mid-late 80s anyway, but I mean, it could have had a meta quality to it. Maybe, I don't know, if you work in some goofy dialogue about whatever. No, you wouldn't do that. That's a Mel Brooks kind of thing to do.
I was gonna say, I think Spaceballs actually came out. Yeah, Spaceballs also came out in '87, the same year. I was like, it was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, '87.
But other names that could have been Buttercup. I thought some of these names were interesting. Susie Amos, Courtney Cox, Alexandra Paul, Meg Ryan, and Sean Young all auditioned for the role of Princess Buttercup. Sean Young, God, her career went so downhill. I was a big Sean Young fan in the 80s. There was so much good about her, but God, her alcoholism just really fucked everything up. Courtney Cox would have been interesting. This is right about the time that she was doing Dancing with the Dark video just come out. I think this was right around the time the He-Man movie came out that she was in.
I think so.
Let's see. Meg Ryan, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Susie Amos was the girl that played the mom on what the hell show was that? Oh, she was the daughter on Titanic.
She was what?
The daughter on Titanic. Rose's daughter.
Oh, I was like, who? Oh, yeah. Or I thought it was her granddaughter. The one that brings her to Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
I think that's the granddaughter. But yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
She was in Titanic. She was in Usual Suspects. She was in Blown Away too. That's where else I'd seen her. That's a great movie. That's one you need to review. That's a very underrated movie from 1994. Let's see. I thought I had remember her as the mother in Honey, We Shrunk Their Kids, but I must be thinking of somebody else. But
no, I think it's someone else.
But yeah, they were thinking about her. That would have been interesting as well. But Meg Ryan would have been interesting. Sean Young would have been God. If she could have just kept the bottle away from her lips, she could have been great.
Yeah.
But it's what happens when you indulge in stupid stuff and you got more money than brains and you're surrounded by Hollywood people. Tech says the best thing came out in 1987 was him. Oh, and Evil Dead 2. Let's see. I don't know. 1987 in film. Let's see what Three Men and a Baby came out. That was the highest grossing film of the year. Good God, the highest grossing film of the year made $167 million. Boy, how times have changed. Fatal Attraction and Beverly Hills Cop 2, both made by Paramount, were 2 and 3. Good Morning Vietnam came out. God, it's a good movie.
Ooh.
I honestly, that's my favorite Robin Williams movie. There is nothing wrong with that movie at all. Moonstruck came out. Untouchables came out with with Costner and De Niro and all that. Secret of My Success, good movie. The first Stakeout movie came out. That's a fun movie. The first Lethal Weapon came out. The Witches of Eastwick came out. That's a really underrated movie.
God damn,
that is quite good.
In '87.
Let's see who won the awards. Best Picture went to The Last Emperor. Best Director went to Bernardo Bertolucci. So The Last Emperor won a bunch of stuff. Best Actor, Michael Douglas for Wall Street. Makes sense. Best Supporting Actor, Sean Connery, because he's Sean Connery. Let's see, because everything he did was award-worthy. Let's see, the Palme d'Or, I don't care. Let's see, film by country, region, by medium. I actually love going to Wikipedia every now and again and looking at like a year in film or a year in music because it gives me a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's see who was born that year. Let's see, Naya Rivera was born that year. Evan Peters born that year.
Ooh, nice.
Ronda Rousey was born that year. Hey. Henry Golding, actor, was born that year. Michael B. Jordan was born that year in February. I'm not going to go on all these, but let's see. Anybody else who jumps out at me as I'm scrolling? Blake Lively, born that year. To hell with her.
She's definitely something, didn't she? Yikes.
Danielle Pennybaker, I was just talking about how that little girl from Stranger Things looks dead-ass like a young version of her. She was born in September. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. People. Whatever. More people. List of deaths. Who jumps out at me right here? Let's see. Nobody jumping out. Yeah, Danny Kaye died that year in March. Rita Hayworth died that year. Really? I thought she had lasted into the 90s. I don't know why I was thinking that. Lee Marvin died that year. Lorne Greene died that year. I've been actually watching here and there old episodes of Battlestar Galactica. I forgot how good that fucking show was.
Oh yeah, we did also just lose Buck Rogers. That was kind of crazy.
God, like I said, I know we were talking before we started. It's been a bad year for. It's like they're not dying. They're not dying in threes anymore. They're dying in like groups now. It's like they're dying in groups of 10.
Yeah.
I've always thought the whole dying in threes thing was kind of dumb anyway, because it's like famous people die all the time, and it just doesn't always make news. They haven't been famous since like the 70s, so nobody knows anymore. But I mean, if you actually go down the list and look of like famous people who have died, you'll like over the course of a month you'll find like 10 names. It's just that you forgot they were famous because they haven't been around for a while, so it doesn't make the news. But whatever. Let's see. Yes, I actually read the other day that Disney is going to release new episodes of The Muppet Show. I don't know what that's going to look like. Part of me is scared. Part of me is kind of into it because I'm like, hey, look, if we get Waldorf and Statler back, I'm fine. That's all I need. Give me Waldorf and Statler all day long. I would take simply an hour of
They're the best characters, obviously.
I would take an hour of them torching people. That would be great because I've always loved like Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. I've always loved that shit. That's just funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I went another rabbit hole of his videos the other day. So yeah, bring me Waldorf and Statler. That's fine. One of the things I've always wanted to do is find. There's this one particular clip where they start clapping at the end of the show. They start clapping like it was great, and then it slowly transitions into them just like dumping on the show, like over the course of like 30 seconds. I've been trying really hard to find a good copy of that clip so I can start playing that in the outro, at least occasionally. So I'm working on it. So if anybody knows,
what was your favorite part when it was over?
Yeah, exactly.
That one, like, what was your favorite part when it ended?
But yeah, let's probably a good time to go ahead and start wrapping things up. Again, Jeremy, a great movie by a great director. Give me your final thoughts on The Princess Bride.
Like I said, if you want a good bedtime story read to you when you're sick, what else better than this? Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus and Hulu right now. But this is definitely a movie like worth. I mean, even if it's behind paywalls, I'd say rent it, watch it, buy it on physical media. I mean, like I said, it's definitely worth watching. It's a fun adventure story. It's like I said, it's funny. It's got genuine drops of humor in it. That's like again, I still even laugh the same way I did like the first time I saw it. It's not a movie that will disappoint you, so give it a watch.
Yeah, this movie is a classic. It's one of the all-time classics. I wouldn't even call it a cult movie. It was modestly successful financially when it came out. It got great reviews. To me, a cult movie is one that doesn't get very good reviews, but over time people learn to understand it a bit differently, and then they get it.
It is a big
like Contact is a movie like that. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, that's a great idea of a cult movie.
It's like one of the cult movies. Yeah,
that's kind of the cult movie. That's the crown jewel of all cult movies. But again, there's just nothing wrong with this movie. It's got, if you like action, it's got it. You can watch it as a straight up action film and you'll get it. You can watch it as a love story and you'll see it. You can watch it as like kind of a goofy comedic, almost a spoof. It's almost got that kind of quality to the time. It's got a touch of Monty Python. This movie has literally every genre of movie in just the right formula, just the right level of ingredients. There's nothing wrong with this movie at all. It's a fantastic movie. One of many that Rob Reiner shows his absolute talent as a director and his ability to tell a story. Beautifully written, great, beautifully acted, the perfect cast for this movie. It's a great movie. You can watch it on it's on Hulu, it's on Disney Plus. Hulu's closing down from what I heard. I don't know. I was reading something about that today. I read the art. I kind of read the headline and didn't really have time to read the article, but. Disney owns most of
Disney a lot, so I thought maybe they had them under.
Well, Hulu owns. I'm sorry, Disney owns like half of Hulu.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
something about HBO and whatever. I don't know, but I've heard that Hulu's going away. When that's going to happen, if it's going to happen, I don't know. But I'll have to look at it. But it's one way or another. It's on Disney Plus, so go watch it on Disney.
Netflix is trying to buy Warner Brothers for like $30 bajillion million fucking dollars.
I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen at all. But that's a whole other story. But
that's a scary
proposition. But go watch it on Hulu, Disney Plus. Go buy it on DVD. There's probably some VHS copies still floating around there somewhere. If you're as old as I am.
I'm not, but I do have one.
I'm sure Jeremy will rent it to you for a very high asking price because if he doesn't get it back, he's got to have a certain deposit, probably about $4,000 or $5,000.
Well, and if you don't rewind it, I'm kicking your ass.
Damn right.
Important fact too.
Oh yeah. Be kind, rewind. But
that's a reference for the kids.
Yeah. There's even a movie called Be Kind, Rewind that ironically came out as VHS was starting to die and DVDs were taking over. But
that's a wild movie, yeah.
It is. It's fun. But yeah, go see it. It's 100% worth it. Like I said, I envy BJ that she hasn't seen it yet because I would love to watch this movie again for the first time. It's that magical.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to sit next to you as you watch that for the first time and enjoy this. But we will. Jeremy, where can the folks at home find you, my friend?
I'm here Tuesday and Thursday. And this coming Tuesday, I am so goddamn excited because this weekend I finally get to watch season 2 of Fallout. I thankfully have avoided spoilers thus far. I don't know if that's because there's some government guy on my phone watching my algorithm and it knows I haven't watched it yet. Because it kind of seems like after I watch an episode, somehow shit starts popping up that that I would know because I've watched it. I don't know if that's a thing. It probably is. Or maybe I'm just not online as I maybe think I am. So I haven't had anything spoiled for me, but yeah, I'm going to enjoy indulging in some New Vegas for season 2 of Fallout. I've already got a shirt, and I was shocking to everybody that I bought a new New Vegas shirt during a Black Friday sale that I waited in a very, very, very hot and humid GameStop for. But I got it for $5, so worth it. So we're doing that Tuesday, and yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm assuming at some point we're gonna get back into Stranger Things because that is also coming out next week, I think.
Yeah, they're releasing.
Crap.
Yeah, they're releasing
Christmas is upon us.
Fallout. Yeah, they're releasing Fallout like once a week. Is that right?
I have no idea. I've just kind of like really avoided Falk. I think it's every week. I've been kind of avoiding it. I don't really know.
So we may end up doing like the first, depending on what the release schedule is for Fallout, we may end up doing like the first 2 episodes of Fallout, and then we'll kind of alternate Fallout and Stranger Things for the rest of the calendar year or into January as we're finishing it all up.
Okay, from Google, Fallout Season 2 premieres December 16th, 2025 on Prime Video. A day earlier, because he got caught using AI, but that's a point I added. With new episodes releasing weekly every Wednesday leading up to the finale on February 4th. So it is going to be weekly on Wednesdays. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so we may end up doing the first 2 episodes next week. Maybe. If I could watch it Wednesday and get the stream together in time for doing it on Thursday. I don't see the reason why I couldn't, but yeah, we'll get that figured out one way or another. One way or another, we're going to be here Tuesday, do episode 1 of Fallout. I have been very lucky that I have not been exposed to really any spoilers. Maybe my phone isn't listening to me the way that Jeremy's is listening to his. It's not driving my algorithm towards everything Fallout. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into that. I really, yeah, yeah. They've got you. Yeah, they're all in your algorithm. They got you hooked.
Well, yeah. How many times do we get emails from like Bethesda or IGN like, here, check out this Fallout thing. Check out this Fallout thing. Hey, we have this thing, this Fallout thing coming out. Did you know about that? I'm like, yes, I do. Me and my wallet are crying. Stop.
Yes, we do. Leave us alone. Let us go, damn it. Let us go.
I might have a new thing for the background, is what I'm saying. It's gonna be really goddamn cool.
I don't want to talk about. It actually wasn't that expensive. Surprisingly, not that expensive. If you know what it is, you'll see that at some point soon.
I'll rearrange the wall.
It's not.
Well, to be fair, God damn it! Hold on. Oh God, this helmet's heavy. You can't say I'm not a New Vegas fan. I don't have, the NCR Ranger helmet right here. This thing is hefty. I'm gonna have to put this on the wall with the other thing I bought. This fucker's heavy. I tried to wear this at a con once. It was uncomfortable.
It is not padding is gonna help. It is not letting me scroll down to my music for some reason. I do not understand why. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap it.
I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, for some reason, it's like it's not even letting me scroll down. It's very odd. But anyway.
That's what you got me for. Hold on. I can play you out. I got it. Boom.
Well,
Music Man.
That's why I get this. We'll be back here on Tuesday to break down episode 1 of Fallout Season 2. I'm looking forward to it. Jeremy's looking forward to it, I'm sure. And then it's going to be basically that and Stranger Things on the way out for the rest of the year, unless we can fit something else in. But we will see you guys on Tuesday. Till then, adios. Princess Bride, Fallout, Stranger Things. I mean, it's not a bad run. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing, I don't know, to throw more horror in to make Tex happy.
That's what we got. That's what we got. Iron Lung coming out in January.
True. I was actually thinking about doing a double feature this weekend. I was going to go see Avatar Fire and Ice because I'm interested to see how the movie is. And probably that Violent Night, Deadly Night thing that they've been talking about with both Tex and Nick at Lost River said it's pretty good. So I might have to check that out. I'm going to check it out, see how it works. Bye, everybody.
All right, goodbye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.